Hello, everyone, and welcome to OHSCA Interviews. I'm Vincenzo Calla, and I'm your host for today's episode. Today, I'm happy to have with me the President of the Conservative Party of Canada, Rob Batherson. Rob was first elected to the CPC National Council in 2016 and has been an active Conservative for more than 30 years. Following the 2021 National Convention, National Councillors from across Canada elected Rob as President of the Conservative Party of Canada. Rob's professional experience over the past 25 years includes being an interim Chief Executive Officer in the international education sector, a communications agency co-owner, and public relations practice leader and a press secretary/communications director, working alongside elected officials and staff in Halifax and Ottawa, including the Premier of Nova Scotia and many Conservative members of Parliament. Outside of politics, Rob is an active community volunteer with extensive board governance experience, having chaired both the Halifax Chamber of Commerce and Neptune Theatre Foundation. Thank you, Rob, for your time, and thank you for joining us.
Great to be here.
Well, it's great to have you here. And before we go into the question and answer segment, I wanted to bring something up. At the time of this filming, just moments ago, the membership numbers, the final membership numbers for the Conservative Party over the race have just come out, and the party has reached a record-breaking 678,708 members. And I believe that is the biggest party by membership in Canadian history. So the greatest proportional growth was in Quebec, 750%. Party membership quadrupled from 169,705 at year-end 2021, and current membership is higher than the last two leadership race years, 2020 and 2017 combined. So maybe can you just talk a bit about this and what this means maybe for the party and how great it is?
It's fantastic because Canadians are voting with their membership purchases. They are stepping up for change. They want a change away from a Justin Trudeau government that our passport offices don't work, our airports don't work, the aviation sector struggling, the price of everything is going up through sky-high inflation. And I think people realize that if you want to change the government, if you want to replace Justin Trudeau with better leadership, the Conservative Party of Canada is the only vehicle that can do that. And I am confident that whomever party members choose as their next leader, that person will become prime minister. So people are stepping up for change.
Well, especially over the past few years. I mean, 2020, we had just been through the first part of wave of the pandemic, and people saw government in their lives, but because the race had started sort of in between, it was sort of not as big as now it is. And people have seen the impacts of this Liberal government on them throughout the past 2.5 years of the pandemic. And like you said, people want change. So we're going to go into this question and answer segment, and these questions all come from the members of our high school team. So the first one I want to ask is, what made you decide to run for national council and stay on the more administrative side of the party instead of running in elections and trying to become like an MP or something like that?
Well, I've always been active in the Conservative Party of Canada as a volunteer, and then with one of the two legacy parties dating back to the 1993 PC Party of Canada Leadership Convention. And so I'd done pretty much every volunteer job that could be asked of me. I'd been the president of two electoral district associations in Nova Scotia. I had been a campaign manager. And as I was looking for ways to deepen my involvement in the Conservative Party of Canada, an opportunity arose to be Nova Scotia's representative on the National Policy Committee. And so I served as Nova Scotia's rep on the National Policy Committee leading up to our national convention in Calgary. I really enjoyed that experience. And on the National Policy Committee, there were a number of members from National Council. Some of them encouraged me to consider putting my name forward for National Council. As it turned out, my predecessor on National Council for Nova Scotia, Cameron McKean, very good friend. I certainly wasn't going to run against him. He was doing a very able job and ended up finishing his time on National Council as vice president to when John Walsh was president. But when Cameron was termed out in 2016, I sort of put my head towards should I step up to be his successor on National Council? And so I was fairly well known in the party in Nova Scotia, had been the president of the PC party of Nova Scotia. And so when I decided to run in early 2016, and I thought the timing was good, not only in that Cameron was finishing his time on National Council, but we had just been defeated as a party. And so I got excited about the opportunity to be a part of building the party up. And so that's why I decided to first run for National Council. I signed up people to my nomination form, and nobody decided to run against me, and that's been the case really through the last 3 conventions, and now I'm in my final term.
Well, it's so important, your job in the National Council and the administrative side of the party, because a lot of people, I wouldn't say that a lot of people don't think about it all the time, but we see a lot of sort of the members of parliament out there and the leader, that sort of thing. But your job is critical, and the National Council's job is critical to the future and success of our party when it comes to the governance of our party, and for the leadership, and for really winning elections, and to become a governing party.
Yeah, National Council has, I view it as we're the non-financial governance body of the Conservative Party of Canada. Finance rests under our Constitution with the Conservative Fund Canada. And so our role on National Council is to ensure that we deliver good governance, that we ensure that our Constitution, that our delegates set at every national convention is respected, and that we make decisions that are in the best interest of the party, and also that we provide a voice for grassroots members when National Council makes that decision. But it's also providing a voice to grassroots members at the National Council table. But we also have a responsibility to communicate back to the membership as to the decisions that we make and why do we make them. And so everything from candidate nomination rules, that gets set by National Council. The appointment of the Leadership Election Organizing Committee in the event that we have a vacancy in the leadership, that gets set by National Council. And so National Council has a fair bit of power, but we always want to exercise that power responsibly, with the interests of our members in mind, and also respecting the Constitution.
Well, definitely. And to build on that, I want to go into question 2, which is, as president of the Conservative Party of Canada, what have been some of your responsibilities, and what are you doing behind the scenes to sort of keep the party going? National Council president, like what do you do behind the scenes to keep the party going, and some responsibilities?
When National Councillors elected me as president in March of 2021, one of the commitments I made to them was to use my role as president to support them in their work. So that is everything from providing assistance in troubleshooting issues that arise with staff, to giving them the information that they need to communicate with members, but also to identify with them what are some of the things that individually they would like to do to achieve success as part of a broader team of 20 volunteers from coast to coast to coast. So we have quite an elaborate committee structure in place as well. So I gained experience during my first 2 terms on National Council as chair of the Communications Committee, then chair of a Membership and Communications Committee, but also chairing the Convention Committee that led to our virtual convention in 2021. So we have a lot of new councillors who joined, who were elected in the 2021 National Convention. And so I provide a lot of support to those councillors as they go about their committee work.
Well, that is super important. And again, sort of building on that, how important National Council and the sort of the administration side of the Conservative Party of Canada really is for our success. So we're going to go on to the third question. And this is something that is on the minds of a lot of people right now, and that's party unity. So Vasu from Ajax wanted to ask, how are the executives of the Conservative Party of Canada ensuring that the party is staying united during this leadership race? And what will be done after the race to make sure the party stays as one? Because I know those are some big conversations right now.
Well, you hear me talk a lot about the Constitution, and part of the reason why I talk about the Constitution is any good organization needs to respect what is in the Constitution to be successful. That doesn't mean the Constitution always stays the same, and our delegates can change the Constitution as they see fit at every national convention. But one of the best parts of the Constitution, in my view, that speaks to the importance of unity is the statement in our guiding principles that we are a coalition. And so to stay united, we have to respect each other, regardless of the kind of conservative that we define ourselves as. We are a coalition. We have many different kinds of conservatives who identify with the Conservative Party for different reasons. And so on National Council, we always approach issues from a respectful way, regardless of whether we agree or disagree with our colleagues. And I think coming out of the leadership announcement on September 10th, we need to remember as party members that we are a coalition and that we have to respect each other and that we have to find a way to respect our differences. And I think certainly our interim leader, Candice Bergen, has worked really hard to bring the caucus together and be respectful regardless of the differences that take place. And what I can say certainly as president of National Council is regardless of who wins, because national councillors are required to be neutral under our Constitution, we are resolute in supporting that next leader and to act as agents of unity to keep the coalition together. And it's so important. And I encourage people, regardless of who wins, that person deserves our support. They deserve the chance, having received a mandate from party members, to lead the party in the direction, and they deserve the benefit of the doubt. So for those who have a preferred candidate, if their preferred candidate doesn't win, they need to support the winner the same way as they would expect other party members to support their candidate of choice if their candidate were to win. So respect for others, support for our new leader, and giving that leader the time to keep the party united are all important roles that we can play as members of National Council, but also as individual party members.
Well, for sure. I mean, a couple of things on that. First of all, the only way we can win the next election is by uniting around the leader. It may not be what some people hoped to be the leader, but like you said, you need to unite around the next leader, and because that will be the only way we can win the election. And as well, I mean, you're right, Candice Bergen has done a great job. We had her on our show last year when she was still deputy leader, and she even talked about sort of being equals, and how she said, whether you're 14 or 44 or 84, you're all equals in the Conservative Party of Canada. You all have a voice, and that's being shown in this leadership race. So we should all use our voice and come together as one during these times, as well as preceding the leadership race.
You've probably heard it said by others, but it bears repeating. In the Conservative Party of Canada, you will always get your say. You may not get your way, but you will always get your say. And we're a democratic party. We're a grassroots party. But part of being a grassroots democratic party is respecting a democratic vote, even if it doesn't align with your own personal choice.
And it's just so important. And we're going to go on to the fourth question, which is, as we get into the last month of the leadership race, what is being done to make sure everything goes smoothly, whether it be voting or actual counting of the votes, or just thinking about the convention as well?
Well, our staff have worked incredibly hard to ensure that this record number of Conservative Party members receive a ballot. And so all the ballots, to the best of my knowledge, have been mailed out. And now we need to encourage our friends, we need to encourage other party members to make sure that they understand how to vote. We're required to do a mail-in ballot. That lends a certain level of complexity for some members. And we have hundreds of thousands of new members who have never been a member of the Conservative Party of Canada ever. So we have a lot of information. We have instructional videos as a party as to how to vote, but also getting out the vote is going to be so key. As of today, we've received 80,000 ballots back. which is a great number, but that still means that close to 600,000 ballots remain to be sent back. So please encourage everybody to get their ballot in as soon as possible. And that's going to be the main focus, I would say, of the party and of all the campaign teams, to encourage Conservative Party members to vote. But we have a good, robust structure in place. You can go online and watch the counting room as the ballots are received and checked. So we're very transparent as to how the election process goes. So get out the vote, help others to vote, and make sure that everybody exercises their right to vote in this Conservative leadership election.
And it's just so important. And as you said, make sure to vote. The date that the ballots are due, is there a set date now? It's early in September?
They must be received by Deloitte, which is acting on behalf of the Conservative Party of Canada. They must be received close of business, 5 p.m. Eastern, September 6th. So that is the key date, and it must be received. If it's postmarked September 6th and we haven't received it, we can't count the ballot.
Okay, I'll make sure to put that in the bio below. I'll make sure to put that info that they must be there on the 6th at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go on to advice for the next generation, where we talk about youth involvement in politics and more. And we've asked this to everybody that has come on our show. And I wanted to ask, what should young high school Conservatives do in order to get more politically active? And one piece of advice that you would like to give them.
I'll give 2 pieces of advice. If you make a commitment to do something, make sure you follow through. Oftentimes, those who are able to successfully pursue political activity are successful because they are known as individuals who follow through on their word and get the job done. Secondly, having staff experience is helpful. It's very beneficial. Certainly early in my professional career, I was very privileged to work for a number of Conservative MPs in Ottawa and then the Premier of Nova Scotia. But nothing beats, particularly if you're a Conservative and you believe in the Conservative principles of free enterprise and limited government, make sure you get experience outside of the political space. Stay connected to the real world outside of the political bubble, because that makes you more useful as a Conservative activist with real world experience than just exclusively living and breathing politics. And that doesn't discount, by the way, those that have that lifetime of political involvement and experience. But to be successful as a Conservative coalition, you need diverse views, diverse backgrounds, and individuals that have experience outside of politics. Because most Canadians don't necessarily think about politics. And so it's important that as a party and as a movement, that we're grounded in the real life experience of everyday Canadians.
Well, and it's so important. And I mean, the great thing about our political system in Canada, about our 338 MPs, is that you serve a community, and to be in touch with that community is just so important. And it's right, you're right, that in our coalition party, we need people of all different backgrounds. I can think of many interviews we've had. I'm just trying to think, Larry Brock, who's a Crown attorney for Branch. We've had Shelby Cramp-Nyman, who is a financial advisor. We've had Alex Ruff, who is in the military. And these are all, and so many other people, and these are all great people who are now serving as members of parliament that have diverse backgrounds and diverse experiences that they bring to the House of Commons. And it just makes it so much better for our party and so much better for the country that we have these great people with great experiences. So thank you, Rob, so much for your time today. We really appreciate you being with us, and we wish you well in the future. That's it. We hope you enjoyed today's interview. You can look for more videos coming soon. Make sure to follow our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok accounts at OntarioHSCons for more info about our next interview and for more great content. Make sure to look at our website, ontariohsconservatives.org, to learn more about us, see our projects, and for more great content. And for leadership race coverage, follow OHSCAvotes.com. That is where our leadership coverage is. YouTube viewers, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss a video. Podcast listeners, follow us and stay updated with new episodes. We hope to see you all soon. Thank you, Rob, for joining us.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you.